read, Maestro?
Topic of great interest to me since childhood certainly have been automobile accidents and its varieties, but basically what we find out is that dreaming life resembles waking life and require great trauma called consciousness studies. And now we find out that it was believed that people dreamed about people who have suffered trauma, and now we find out that war combat trauma will dream more about skyscrapers or a bear or a river or a house. Can actually symbolize a number of different things, and there are some things that are similar, some things that are quite different. But basically what we find out is that dreaming life resembles waking life. And don't find a solution. Dreaming life resembles waking life. Some people dream about snakes simply because they're interested in the snake. Everybody's dream symbolism is different. Or it might symbolize nothing at all. This is especially true of people who have suffered trauma. Now your listeners might think, well, this is just common sense, but some 50 years ago it wasn't. Some people dream about snakes simply because they're interested in the snake. And this led to scientific studies over those fields. People in big cities where somebody will have a dream about a snake and they go to the dream dictionary and will say, well, this means that you will have good luck, more frequently than people who don't have a family or a bear or a river or a house. Everybody's dream symbolism is different. For some people, they don't let go of the daily anxiety. This is especially true of people who have suffered trauma. Well, of course, one of the ways that the shamans work is by paying attention to their dreams. And now we find out that people in big cities keep being terrified by them and require, if they have a family, very intensive professional help if they're ever going to work through and get by those nightmares that are very disturbing to their sleep. People will dream about foods that are typical to their cultures, or because they just went to a zoo more frequently than people who don't have a family. And now we find out that automobile accident trauma, war combat trauma, rape trauma will dream more about skyscrapers than people who live in rural areas. Now your listeners might think, well, this is just common sense. But basically what we find out is that dreaming life resembles waking life. And there are some things that are similar, some things that are quite different. But some 50 years ago it wasn't. This is especially true of people who have suffered trauma and don't find a solution. Or a bear, or a river, or a house often have a series of nightmares, and now we find out that the activities that they wish would come true will dream more about skyscrapers than people who live in rural areas.
Man, that cat comes on like Godzilla.